Hello viewers, welcome to Kids Auto and Truck Repair. Today we have a 2012 Mercedes Sprinter 3500 with a 3.0 liter engine. The customer complaint on this vehicle is the engine is locked. Now, we already checked the engine. We put a 27 millimeter socket on the crank pulley bolt. We tried turning the engine clockwise. The engine is not budging. Okay, we put a ratchet there. It's really hard. So I didn't want to film that. So just take my word for it. We tried turning the engine. The engine is not turning. It's completely locked. So we were able to confirm the customer's complaint. Now, you might wonder, if you confirm the customer's complaint, what is this video about? Well, I'm going to tell you. This video is about figuring out what happened. Hopefully we can figure out why this engine locked. Now, the owner of this vehicle is a new customer to us. They have a company and they have about 9 Sprinters. I actually have heard of the owner of this company. I'm not going to mention their name. And I know the shop that services their Sprinters. Now, after this happened, the owner called me. Actually, a friend of his told him about me. And after that, they decided to bring this Sprinter to us. And once his Sprinter got here, he told me that he's gonna stop taking his vehicles to that shop. From now on, he's gonna start bringing his vehicles to us, because he said that other shop, and I know that shop, it's about 40 minutes away from here. I'm not gonna mention the name. He said that shop they have a couple Sprinters, they have a couple box trucks. So this is a pretty decent sized company. They have, I believe, over 17 trucks. And they've been giving their business to that shop, but unfortunately that shop has not been taking good care of them. They decided to go somewhere else. They came to our shop, so they want me to figure out why the engine locked, and then they also want us to replace the engine on this Sprinter, because this Sprinter is a refrigerated Sprinter. So the back, it's one of those nice, it looks like a fridge in the back. Now, I can't show you because they have their logo and their company name all over, so I won't be able to show you the back, but it looks very nice. So when I was talking to the owner of the company, he told me that they have put a lot of money into this Sprinter. This Sprinter was in and out that shop for a while, and then after the vehicle left the shop, they gave it to the driver. The driver was driving. I think a couple of hours later, the engine shut down, and then they towed this van to the shop that used to service their vehicles. After they towed the van there, that shop replaced the starter. So they put a new starter on it. After they put the starter, then they realized that the engine was locked. Actually, I asked the owner, I told him, if the engine was locked, they should have figured that out before even they put the starter. But I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus, but if the engine is locked, why do you put a starter in it? So I told them, I said, these Sprinter engines don't usually lock on their own. It's either they ran out of oil or they put gas in it, just like the Sprinter we had a little while ago. So what I want to do is I want to take a fuel sample on this engine to see what kind of fuel comes out of the system. And then we're also going to check the oil level. So hopefully we can figure out why the engine locked. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the vehicle and I'm going to pop the hood, and then we'll go from there. Behind the camera, we have our famous cameraman Kyler. Thanks for being here. So now let me open the hood. So we are here under the hood. Now, Kyler, I don't know if you can show this. Oh, look at this. What does this tell you, Kyler? You know this.
No coolant.
Yes, no coolant or thermostat is sticking. You see how this is like pinched, this upper radiator hose? And then look at the high pressure oil pump. High pressure fuel pump. It looks new. It looks like it was replaced not too long ago. Interesting. Okay, first things first. Look right here. There's coolant in the cooling system, so that's good. This tells me that we didn't have a coolant leak, an internal coolant leak that went in the engine to cause the engine to lock. And then let's check the oil level. Let's see if we have any oil in this engine, because the engine is locked. Now, there's coolant, and it looks like there's oil as well. Let's see. Right there. There's oil. All right, so we have oil in the engine, but the engine locked. So what caused it to lock? Like I was telling the owner of this vehicle, I told them, I said, if the engine didn't run out of oil and it didn't run out of coolant, it shouldn't lock. So something else might have happened. And then I asked them, I said, did the driver go to the gas station before the engine died? He said, I don't remember. I don't think they would put gas in it. I said, okay, just curious, let's see. So now I'm going to remove the air filter box. Okay, so, I mean, I hope it's not gas. So let's get this air filter box out of the way. Abraham, can you grab this? Put it in the van. Okay, so Kyler, if you can show this line over here, I'm gonna disconnect this fuel line. Actually, look at the turbo. Turbo looks new. It looks like they changed the turbo not too long ago. Turbo looks new. Fuel filter also looks new. Because they told me that they put a lot of money into this van. Actually, even the, look at the vacuum pump. This vacuum pump looks new as well. So, yeah, it's very unfortunate that now the engine is dead. So, I'm gonna disconnect this fuel line over here. Let me see if I can do it like this. There we go. Fuel line is disconnected. I'm gonna pry it up. I'm gonna smell it first. Oh. I don't like the smell of this. Okay. All right, so guys, I'm gonna have cameraman Kyler smell this behind the camera, and then Kyler, you can just say something out loud.
Okay.
What do you think?
That's gas.
What do you think, Kyler?
That's gas.
That's gas, right?
Gas.
Now, I'm glad we did this because I told the owner I have to check the fuel system because they want to go ahead and replace this engine. They want us to put a new engine in it, and they are looking at the remanufactured engine from Mercedes, which I love actually. I recommended that, you know, this is a company, they use this van a lot. So I told them, you're gonna be better off getting a remanufactured engine, which is almost basically new. It's gonna come with better warranty. It's gonna work well. Now, can you imagine if we didn't check this? We replaced the engine and started driving down the road and the same thing happened again. Because if we didn't check the fuel system, or if we didn't take a fuel sample, I mean, I guess we could have smelled it because when you do the engine, you have to disconnect the fuel lines. We could have smelled it, but if we didn't care and just swap engines, the same thing was going to happen again. So this is the second time that we're having a locked engine that's caused by gas. So guys, don't put gas in your diesel engine, okay? Now, here's what I'm going to do. I believe the battery is getting weak. I'm gonna go get a jump pack. I still wanna get some fuel out of this. We're gonna cycle the key on and off. Let's see the color of the fuel that's gonna get out of this fuel system, and then we'll be done with this. So, yeah, gas in the tank. So I'm gonna get a jump pack. I'll be right back. All right, so I got my jump pack here, my bulky jump pack. You guys keep making fun of it. I mean, actually someone suggested that I make a little cart for this. You know, a little cart for this jump pack. Maybe I'll do it. You know, a little cart where we can just push it around. It might be hard to push it on the gravel like this, but maybe easy in the shop. So let me put this over here. And this is gonna need a thermostat too, but who cares? The engine is locked anyways. Okay. So my nephew Abraham is here behind the camera. So Abraham, you're gonna turn the key on for us. So here's our fuel line. I'm going to put this fuel line in this container. You guys remember this container? Okay, Abraham, the key is in there. The key is there. Did you see it? Yeah, put the key in the ignition and turn it on. So once the key is turned on, we should have fuel come out of this line. Did you see it? Okay, turn the key on. Yeah, right there. Try to start it. It's not starting, right? Yeah, it's not gonna start. Okay, turn the key off. Perfect. All right, that's it. Thank you, buddy. You can come out. Now, let me put this. So this is the fuel that came out of the fuel system. Does this color look familiar?
Baja Blast.
Do you want to smell it?
Yeah, sure.
Come here. Come smell it. What does it smell
yeah,
like?
It smells like gas.
Smell like gas, right?
It smells like gas.
Yeah. So this is what killed this engine. And I'm sure if we remove one injector and we put a bore scope in the cylinder, we will see melted injectors on this one. So we got the same issue within what? How long has it been since we did the last one?
A month.
A month now? Yeah. So guys, when you go to a gas station and you fuel your vehicle, make sure you check and double check what pump you're using. I mean, a diesel pump is green. The gas one is smaller. And what the color of the gas one? Black?
Black.
Yeah, it's usually black. So, guys, you know, come on, look at the kind of fuel you're putting into this, because this vehicle doesn't even have 100,000 miles. It has under 100,000 miles, but the engine is already locked, and we're gonna have to change this because someone, you know, was not paying attention when they were fueling this Sprinter. So I'm gonna call the owner. I'll tell him. What we're gonna do is we're gonna change the engine, we're gonna drop the fuel tank, we're gonna clean it, we're gonna put fresh diesel in it, and we're also gonna replace the engine. And after that, this will be good to go. So yeah, this is a very expensive mistake. Now, to those of you who are still wondering what our friend John did with the other Sprinter, John had the vehicle towed to from our shop. He got it out of here. He told me that he was gonna have the Mercedes dealership look at it so they can give him the estimate. He wanted to get an estimate from the dealer besides the estimate that we made, because I made two estimates, one with a remanufactured engine and then another one with a used engine. So he told me that he was going back and forth. He was going back and forth with the insurance. The insurance, yeah, so basically he was gonna figure out which insurance was gonna cover it, whether it was gonna be the gas station insurance or his own insurance. So the vehicle was towed out of here and I haven't heard from him ever since. So hopefully he's gonna call us back. Maybe I should call him just to follow up, but you know, so that's where the other one, that's where we left the other one, the other black Sprinter that had a locked engine. So he towed the vehicle out of our shop, and I haven't heard from him ever since. So hopefully he will call us and update us, because I don't know, at this point he's either gonna have the dealership do it or he's gonna have us do it. So anyways, we're gonna keep on moving on. We're gonna keep rolling. We're gonna move on to the next vehicle here. I'm gonna call the customer, let him know that they put gas. Let him know that they put gas in the tank. That's why this engine locked. So, and then yeah, we're gonna put an engine on this one. They already told me that they're gonna do it, so we will put an engine on this one. Now, I don't know if we're gonna film the whole process of the engine replacement. Kyler and I will think about it, because it's a pretty lengthy project, but I don't think we have an engine replacement video on our channel yet. So maybe we'll do it. Actually, we have two Sprinters here that need engines. We have this one, and then there's another one that's gonna need an engine too. So we will see. Maybe we'll film it, because you know, it's not too crazy. Anyways, so we're done with this. This is gonna need an engine. Gas caused this engine to lock. So now let's go to the Chevy Cruze. All right, guys, after checking the 2012 Sprinter van, now we're gonna check this Chevy Cruze, and I have my nephew Abraham here with me. Abraham, you're gonna be my helper today?
All right.
Okay, so we are going to check this Chevy Cruze. Now, the story behind this Chevy Cruze is the owner was driving. He actually came from a funeral. It says funeral in there. He came from the funeral, and then the car died on him. He said he noticed that the temperature gauge went up, so it overheated for a little bit, and then the engine died. Now I asked him, I told him, I hope you did not drive it for a while it overheated, because if it overheated for a while, you know, there's a possibility that the engine is damaged. He said, no, I didn't drive it for a while. Once it started overheating, I pulled over, and then the battery light came on, and then I towed it to your shop. So they towed the vehicle here. Here we are. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm going to open the hood. Abraham, do you know how to open the hood? Okay, so I'm gonna pop this. Okay, go ahead and open the hood. Let's see if you know how to open the hood. There's a little lever there. Now, I don't know what year this thing is. You got it? Okay, good. This is it's a 2014. 2014 Chevy Cruze. Okay, so the battery is dead. I'm going to connect, actually before we connect the battery jump pack on it, so let's do a quick visual inspection under the hood. So look at the surge tank. There's nothing in the surge tank. If you can see that, Kyler, there's no coolant in there. That's a big no-no. Let's see if there's oil. Okay, let me see. Yeah, there's oil in the engine. Oh, look at this. This is a piece of the serpentine belt. Oh, there's no belt. I don't know how well you can see this over here, Kyler. It's pretty dark. So the serpentine belt broke. So I believe what happened was the belt broke and then it overheated. Now, usually belts don't usually break like that unless they went for a long time without changing the belt. So I'm gonna spin the alternator pulley. Can you see the alternator pulley? It's pretty dark. Okay, maybe we'll go get a light. Oh. So the water pump pulley, can you see this pulley over here? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to spin it, it's hard. Mm-hmm. Now this could be, maybe we have a bunch of particles from the belt that went behind the pulley, or the bearing of the pump. Look at that, it's hard to spin. Maybe the bearing of the pump is probably defective, and then even the tensioner is not spinning. The AC compressor is spinning. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go in the shop and grab some coolant. Let's put coolant in the cooling system. We're gonna pressurize the cooling system to make sure that we don't have an external leak around the engine. And then we're gonna have to put this on the lift. Okay, we're gonna carefully drive it in the shop and put it on the lift, because the pulley for the water pump is not spinning freely. So if the bearing of the water pump is binding, that can cause the serpentine belt to snap. So I believe what happened is the serpentine belt snapped, and then the engine overheated, and the engine stopped. So, and I hope they didn't drive it for too long before they realized that the engine overheated, because the head gaskets on these engines burn very easily. So I hope the head gasket is not burnt. So yeah, let me go get some coolant. Let's pressurize the cooling system and see what we're gonna find. All right, so we got our cooling system pressure tester here. Abraham, you're gonna put coolant in the cooling system. Go ahead and put coolant right there. So open that surge tank.
I don't have got long nails. Yeah.
Okay, I'll help you with that. Open the okay. I hope we don't have a huge external leak, otherwise we will be wasting coolant. All right, so, oh, careful. Now Abraham is wasting
my
coolant. There you go. Perfect. Okay, that's good. Now we're gonna use our tool. Let's see if this is gonna be it.
That was easy.
It wasn't easy.
Nah.
No. Okay. All right. So we're gonna pressurize the cooling system. Oh, right there.
Oh.
Easy. That was easy to find. Yeah, these plastic pieces usually. Man, I didn't even see this. All right. That's easy. That was easy to find. So it looks like that this is part of the thermostat housing. Oh, actually, I think you can remove this piece. You can pull this out like this. I think so. Let me see. I think this piece comes out. Okay, whatever. We'll figure it out. Right now, what I want to do is we should drive this in the shop. Now, the engine is really cold right now. If we drive it around the building, we're not going to overheat anything. Okay? So I want to put this vehicle on the lift. But the question is, what about if they overheated this engine for a while and the head is damaged? I mean, I don't know that until we fix this leak and we put a serpentine belt on it and start it and let it run for a while. That's the only way we can figure that out. Because what I want to do now is I'm going to drive this vehicle on the lift. Actually, Abraham, can you give me the jump pack? The battery is completely dead. We got to put a jump pack on this. I'm going to start the engine and then we're going to drive the vehicle in the shop. Man, I'm loving this weather. Yeah, it's not hot. The weather's nice today. Yeah, so now I'm gonna start the engine. Uh-oh. Let's start it. Let's see if it's gonna run. The engine is running. It sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Okay, so let's take our tool in the vehicle. So Abraham, you hold this. Let me see. If I disconnect this, is it gonna die? Oh yeah. The battery is completely dead. The battery is completely dead. Okay. I'm gonna have to drive this in the shop with the jump pack here under the hood. Yeah, all right. Let's see. Actually, it looks like someone put the wrong kind of coolant in it. Look at the coolant that's coming out of it now. It's green. Yeah. These GM vehicles don't take green coolant. Someone put the wrong coolant in it. They take orange coolant. Actually, check engine light is on. Actually, this car has over 179,000 miles. It has a lot of miles. Okay, let's lift this thing up. Abraham, can you get me that hood light over there?
Yes, sir.
You can put all that stuff over there. What the heck? Yeah, so here's what I'm gonna recommend on this one. I'm gonna recommend replacing the water pump because you know I don't like how the bearing on the water pump is binding. I'm gonna recommend replacing the water pump pulley, and then that piece on the thermostat housing that's broken. Yeah, so serpentine belt, water pump, thermostat housing possibly, and then we're gonna start the engine and see what happens. I'm gonna lift up the vehicle a little bit. Nice. So Abraham, give me that flashlight. Okay, Kyler, if you can show this piece over here. Oh yeah, look, we got coolant down here. The water pump is leaking. See that?
Yeah.
I hope you can see under. My hand is in the way. Let me see if I can remove my hand. I don't know how well you can see that.
Yeah.
See that right there?
Mm-hmm.
There's coolant in that area.
Mm-hmm.
See that? Yeah, so this water pump is leaking.
Mm-hmm.
You see under that pulley?
Yeah.
There's coolant there.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Water pump is leaking. So I'm gonna recommend, pretty much kind of like I said earlier, I'm gonna recommend a water pump replacement, serpentine belt tensioner replacement, serpentine belt. The alternator is now locked. Alternator is spinning. Can you see the alternator pulley right there? Yeah, it's spinning. See, I can barely spin the water pump pulley. Yeah, that's binding right there. And then serpentine belt tensioner pulley also is barely spinning. The AC compressor pulley over here is spinning. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We are pretty much done with the diagnosis on this one. And then, so this piece over here, I believe we have to replace the entire thing. I'm gonna call the parts store to see if I can just get, because if I remove this clip, I should be able to detach this from this assembly. Actually, let me do it. So if I remove this clip right here, you know, so this piece, I'm gonna try to get, Abraham, can you give me some pliers? Let me get some pliers. Let me see if I can remove that. Okay, so I got some pliers here. Let's see if this piece is gonna come out. I think I should be able to remove this. Oh, there. So we should be able to just change this piece. I'll call the parts store to see if I can get this piece. Okay, all right, so we're done with the testing on this. I'm gonna tell the customer at this point, I cannot give them any answers in terms of whether the head gasket is good or not. Hopefully they didn't run this too long to the point where it burned the head gasket. We gotta replace the water pump, the serpentine belt tensioner, the tensioner, and this piece over here. We're gonna put coolant in the cooling system and test drive the vehicle to see if it's not gonna overheat after that. Hopefully it doesn't overheat, okay? So we're gonna leave this right over here. I hope you liked the video, Abraham.
Yep.
Thank you for your help, buddy. We might make a separate video about the water pump replacement on this one, but this video is just gonna be about the testing on this Chevy Cruze and the Sprinter that we did earlier. So I hope you liked the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumb down. But if you do, tell us why so we can make better videos in the future. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any comments, questions, criticism, leave them in the comment box. Cameraman Kyler, thanks for being here. See you next time.